Have you ever made a mistake so small, yet so important, that you wish time could rewind just a few seconds? Well, what if I told you one boy found a way to do just that? It all began on a rainy Saturday afternoon in a quiet little town. The clouds hung low, the wind howled gently outside, and 10-year-old Max was stuck inside his grandmother's creaky old house. Bored, he muttered, tapping a pencil on the wooden floor. "Why don't you explore the attic?" Grandma called from downstairs. "But be careful, there are things in there older than I am." Max's eyes lit up. A dusty attic full of forgotten treasures? Now that was better than any video game. He climbed the wooden ladder slowly, pushing open the trapdoor. Cobwebs hung like curtains, and rays of light streamed through the tiny round window, illuminating old trunks, faded books, and stacks of strange antiques. And then he saw a brass clock. Not just any clock, though. This one had 2-minute hands. One ticked forward like normal, but the other ticked backwards. Max tilted his head. Weird. He picked it up and wiped the glass. The moment his finger touched the center dial, whoosh! Time rewound. Only a few seconds. But he could feel it. The pencil he had knocked over earlier was suddenly back in his pocket. The ladder creaked again as if he hadn't climbed it yet. "Whoa," Max whispered. "What is this thing?" Back in his room, Max decided to test the clock again. He wrote "hello" on a piece of paper. Then he turned the brass knob on the back of the clock just one click to the left. The writing disappeared. Time had reversed only by a few seconds, but enough to undo what he'd done. For the next few days, Max used the clock for all sorts of small mistakes. He rewound time when he dropped his toast butter side down. He used it to undo saying something embarrassing in front of his crush at school. He even rewound to avoid tripping over the family cat. Each time it worked. But there were rules. The clock only rewound a short moment no more than 30 seconds. And every time he used it, the ticking sound grew louder, and the clock's backwards hand moved faster. One afternoon, Max's best friend Leo invited him to a skateboard race down a steep hill. "Are you sure this is safe?" Max asked. "Come on!" "What could go wrong?" Leo grinned. Halfway down the hill, Max lost control. He swerved, hit a bump, and slammed into a trash can. His knee was scraped, his pride even more bruised. Okay, he gasped, pulling out the clock. "I'll just rewind." Click, nothing. The backwards hand had stopped. The ticking was gone. Max's eyes widened in panic. "No, come on, just a little more." But the clock didn't respond. It was as if it had reached its limit. Max hobbled home that day, hurting more from disappointment than his fall. He tried everything, changing the batteries, shaking it, even saying please. But the clock stayed silent. That night, he sat quietly in the attic, staring at it. Grandma climbed up and sat beside him. "Found something interesting, didn't you?" Max nodded. "It could rewind time." "Just a bit. I used it to fix little mistakes. But now it won't work anymore." She smiled softly. "You know, sometimes we need to live with our mistakes, learn from them. That's how we grow." Max looked at the clock. "But it was so easy. Just rewind, try again." "Easy doesn't always mean better," she replied, patting his shoulder. "What matters is what you do next time, not what you undo." The next day, Max brought Leo a peace offering, 2 sodas and a bag of gummy worms. "Sorry I wiped out yesterday," Max said. "And thanks for waiting while I limped home." "No problem," Leo grinned. "You were pretty cool flying into that trash can." They both laughed. From then on, Max didn't rely on the clock. He still kept it on his shelf, but as a reminder, not a crutch. And strangely, months later, the backwards hand started ticking again. But Max never used it, because now he wanted to make mistakes, to learn, to fall and get back up. Because sometimes the best part of growing up is getting it wrong first. And so, Max discovered the real magic wasn't in rewinding time, but in learning how to make each second count moving forward.